Hello, good morning, and welcome to Apostate Church. I hope that y'all can hear me okay. I had to reboot my computer, and that is why I am late. And now I have none of my windows open that I was supposed to have open. Good morning, good morning. Can y'all let me know if you can hear me? Oh, dear. People are not sleeping. I don't like to hear that people didn't get good sleep. We need good beauty sleep, y'all. You know, I had to set up my own mics. I had to get my own information done. I mean, this is just, you elders are not pulling your weight. And I will have to let Jehovah know. Grand Rising, Lady Kazi. How are you, my dear? Good to see you. Welcome to Apostate Church. Oh, I didn't even get my, see, look, I don't even have my book of Bible stories ready yet. I have to pull it up on the thing yet. I apologize, y'all. Yes, welcome. You were on time for Apostate Church. You were never too late for Jeebus. Hello. Well, as you saw on my, oh, Wally. Is it because you were cooking and you got excited, or was something else happening? Well, whatever it is, I hope maybe you can get a nap today. I'm hoping. Yeah, 2 hours is, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Thank you, Jonathan. Good to see you. Via Sol Raka. Good morning to you. Look at the trees. Please look at the trees with me, because that's how we know that Jeebus is here, by looking at my lovely trees. Okay. So, do I have to give the talk on masturbation, Wally? Do I have to? Oh, those conversations were so bad with your parents. I'm sure you've... I do not miss those studies. It was the worst when we started studying the young people ask. I hated every moment of it, because it was like them telling you that everything that you did was just wrong. Every thought you had, every friend you wanted to have. Yeah. Not good. Okay. Don't mind me. I am trying to get my browser back open and get my book of Bible stories up, so that way I can share it with you. Now, where is it? I think it's in I have a JW folder. There we go. Okay, so if I just open this PDF in my browser, then I can just share. I can just share my screen in my Chrome tab. My Chrome tab. Look at that. Okay, sorry, y'all. I apologize. Okay, let's get to Moses, because we're going to be talking about Moses today, y'all, because there's a lot of history there with the Moses story that isn't a real history. Now, we understand why they've created these stories. Completely understandable. But I think the wild part is the Christians really believe some of this stuff. Where are you, Moses? This is the bad king. Hold on, is the Moses? Oh, here we go. Oh, baby Moses. Can y'all see that okay? Hold on, I'm going to have to switch over to see what y'all can see. Oh, yeah. Maybe I need to open this meeting up with a bit of prayer. Hey, help me. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? Oh, wait, can I make it even bigger? No. No. I guess that's as good as it gets. Okay, I guess that's good. Nobody has answers that hurt. Oh, Wally. Okay. Oh, I apologize. Does anybody want to join me? Hello. Of course, this is Apostate Church, where we are going to go over my book of Bible stories and discuss the childhood nightmares that we have all lived through, staring at these pictures of murder, obsession, grapes. Yes, grapes. Jealousy, diseases, all the kind of things that today in society we would probably not allow our children to play a game with any of these things. We wouldn't allow our kids to watch movies of a certain age. So now that we're grown up, we see like, oh, okay, these aren't child rated stories. There's not really that many in the Bible, honestly, but I think they could have done better. These are just frightening. All right, I'm going to start reading, y'all, about how baby Moses was saved. And we're going to talk a little bit about Sargon of Akkad and the similarity of the stories and things like that. Okay. See the little baby crying? Oh, I wish you could see the little baby crying, but you can't see the little baby crying yet. See the little baby crying and holding on to the lady's finger? This is Moses. Do you know who the pretty lady is? She is an Egyptian princess. Ooh, Pharaoh's own daughter. Wowsies. Moses' mother hid her baby until he was 3 months old because she didn't want him to be killed by the Egyptians. So we're told that the Egyptian Pharaoh wants all the babies to be put to death. And so to save Moses' life, Miriam floats him down a river. Okay. So Moses' mother hid her baby until he was 3 months old because she didn't want him to be killed by the Egyptians. But she knew that Moses might be found, so this is what she did to save him. She took a basket and fixed it so that no water would leak in. Then she put Moses into it and placed the basket in the tall grass along the river. Moses' sister Miriam was told to stand nearby and see what would happen. Soon Pharaoh's daughter came down to the Nile to bathe. Suddenly she saw the basket in the tall grass. She called to one of her servant girls, "Go get that basket for me." When the princess opened the basket, what a beautiful baby she saw. Little Moses was crying, and the princess felt sorry for him. She didn't want to have him killed. Well, she sounds like a nice girl. Then Miriam came up. You can see her in the picture. Miriam asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call an Israelite woman to nurse the baby for you?" The Israelite woman being Moses' mother. Wowsies. "Please do," the princess said. So Miriam ran quickly to tell her mother. When Moses' mother came to the princess said, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So now Moses' mom gets to be paid to raise her kid. Whew, that's not too shabby. So Moses' mother took care of her own child. Later, when Moses was old enough, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. That is how Moses came up to grow in the house of Pharaoh. Interesting. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, wait, I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit because there we go. Look at that little baby. Look at that little white baby. Oh, it's a little white baby. How cute. In a basket. So, also, a little connection here. In the Bible, the word teva is used in the Noah story with the ark, and in the Moses story, he was placed in a teva. So Moses was placed in an ark. Yeah, it's a basket, but think of the symbology of Noah in an ark being saved from the flood, supposedly, and Moses in an ark being saved from the Pharaoh. Very, very interesting symbology there, Mr. Bible. I see you. But the interesting thing is you don't really get to see that as a Christian. They don't teach you the cool stuff. Hey, Jordan, did I say hello to you? I don't know if I said hi to everybody. I apologize. I'm doing my best. Jay, it's Jay. Good morning, Jay. How are you today? Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, the baby looks Irish. Look at them red cheeks, too. He's got some little red cheekers. Little cute little baby. Okay. So Moses is put in an ark, a basket, floated down the Nile, right? Was that the Nile? Oh, no, the Nile. Yes, he was floated down the Nile River, and the Pharaoh's daughter gets to take care of him. Gets to say it's her child. And because of that privilege, Moses is going to get some privilege, which is pretty cool. Nice. All right, so why did Moses run away, kids? Kids, this stuff we need to know why Moses ran away. Okay? Don't you want to know what he was running from? Okay. Look at Moses running away from Egypt. Can you see the men chasing him? Do you know why they went to kill Moses? Let's see if they can find out. Moses grew up in the house of Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt. He became a very wise and great man. Moses knew that he was not an Egyptian, but that his real parents were Israelite slaves. Okay, so Moses is aware of the situation. Okay. One day, when he was 40 years old, Moses decided to go to see how his people were getting along. It was terrible how they were being treated. So I'm assuming that Moses is in his, I don't know, his kingdom, basically. His mom's the Pharaoh's daughter, so he's got a lot of cool privileges. He's got money. I'm sure he can just kind of do what he wants to do, maybe take some vacations or something. I don't know. So at some point, Moses decided to go see how the regular folk are doing and realizes, oh, snap, I'm living a life of luxury, and these people are being treated terrible. He saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite slave. Oi! Moses looked around, and when he didn't see anybody watching, he hit the Egyptian, and the Egyptian died. Then Moses hid his body in the sand. Wowsies. The next day, Moses went out to see his people again. I'm guessing that maybe he didn't get away with the murder, and that's why he's being chased. Let's see. He thought he could help them so he wouldn't have he thought he could help them so they wouldn't have to be slaves anymore. But he saw two Israelite men fighting, so Moses said to the one who was in the wrong, somehow Moses just knew who was in the wrong, you know. That's just what privileged people do. They just know things and get in people's businesses, which is what I do all the time. Why are you beating up your brother? The man said, who made you our ruler and judge? Are you going to kill me just as you killed that Egyptian? And Moses was like, oh, snap, I've been found out. Moses now became afraid. He knew that people had found out what he had done to the Egyptian. Even Pharaoh heard about it. Wow, word travels fast. In just one day, somebody was like, oh, let me go tell. I guess it seems like they didn't want to be helped, man. Okay. Moses now became afraid. He knew that people had found out what he had done to the Egyptian. Even Pharaoh heard about it and sent men to kill Moses. That is why Moses had to run away from Egypt. When Moses left Egypt, he went far away to the land of Midian. Oh, Midian. Okay, Midian's going to be a familiar story at some point. Okay. There he met the family of Jethro and married one of his daughters, Zipporah. Moses became a shepherd and took care of Jethro's sheep for 40 years. Okay, so Moses was 40. He lives another 40 years in Midian, which is a generation, basically. So he lives a generation in the land of Midian. He's now 80 years of age. Then one day, while Moses was taking care of Jethro's sheep, an amazing thing happened that changes Moses' whole life. Turn the page and let's see what this amazing thing is. Okay, because murderers are like, they deserve everything. Okay, look, I'm not saying what Moses did was wrong, but I'm just saying I love how they just cap. They cap. If they feel somebody is chosen, everything they do can be it could be forgiven. Hold on, let me come back and let me see what y'all are saying. Let me just make sure. Moses was a phony. He didn't exist. That was really shocking for me. Like, was anybody else? Yes, they did, Wally. Did anybody? No, I don't even know what to say. Hey, what's up, Farron? Thank you for coming. Woo, woo. Hail Satan. You're 44, but the tower probably plagiarized her in the picture. They plagiarize a lot of pictures that I've seen. Didn't they steal one from a magazine, the Forever in Paradise book or something, Living in Paradise? And that was a model. I forget. But anyhow, yeah, he does. Doesn't he? Hold on, let's look. He does look like he's caught. Like, is this even... I don't know, so I can't say that I'm knowledgeable to know what they would have worn, but I find it interesting. They would draw Moses wearing, a skirt, basically. But today, if a man wanted to wear such a thing, it would be a problem. Isn't that weird? Society, conformity, how that all happens. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to put my thing in your thing, but give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. It looks a bit cosplayish to me. All right. Now, is this where we want to veer a little bit and talk a bit about Moses and why? I think we might still have to keep going. All right, we're going to go a little farther. Are you okay with that if we go a little bit farther with this story, and then we'll veer off and I'll kind of give some information as to why it just doesn't add up. Whoopies. I keep forgetting I got to click the thing. I got to click the thing. Hi, Ian. Good morning to ya.
Look, Mom, my cape. I can fly, Mom.
Oh, you know what I could do? I can make this screen bigger, which would help me read. Oh my gosh, sometimes I'm not even high yet. I think I need to be. I'm sorry, Apostate. I didn't know if I said hi to you. Good morning to you. Yeah, he looks pretty good. In that picture, that's when he's fleeing. So that's when he's 40. That's a 40-year-old Moses. I used to think, like, in the new system, I used to kind of feel like I would absolutely look forward to meeting Moses and maybe marrying him. I thought I could do him. I definitely thought Moses would be Samson and Moses. Who else? Samson, Moses. I don't know, because those are my two doable. I'm bad. Bad. Okay. The burning bush. My bush is burning. Kidding. That's a lie. Moses had come all the way to the mountain of Horeb to find grass for his sheep. But here he saw a bush on fire, but it wasn't burning up. Whoa, that's wild. This is strange, Moses thought. In my little brain, I'm thinking fire should be burning up that bush, but it's not. This is strange. I will go and get closer to get a better look. When he did, a voice came from the bush saying, "Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals because you are standing on holy ground." It was God speaking by means of an angel. So Moses covered his grill piece. He was like, "Oh." God then said, "I have seen the suffering of my people in Egypt, so I am going to free them." So it took God 40 more years. So at the time of Moses being in Egypt and finally deciding to go see how his peeps is doing and realizing, like, oh shit, I've been letting my peeps get murked and treated like crap by the Pharaoh's slave drivers, whatever you want to call them. What would those men be? Foreman? Maybe a foreman? I don't know. Anyway, we know that slaves didn't build the pyramids and stuff like that. Like, I know there was some people who built some stuff, but it's not the pyramids that they're talking about. Okay. I just veered off. God said, "I have seen the suffering of my people in Egypt, so I'm going to free them. And you are the one I am sending to lead my people out of Egypt." Jehovah was going to bring his people to the beautiful land of Canaan. Canaan is beautiful, I must admit. But Moses said, "I am nobody. How can I do this? But suppose I do go. The Israelites will say to me, 'Who sent you?' Then what shall I say?" This is what you are to say," God answered. "Jehovah, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you." And Jehovah added, "This is my name forever." Is that paraphrasing? I feel like they paraphrased a little bit there. Okay, but suppose they don't believe me when I say that you sent me, Moses replied. Now, a friendly reminder, this is not a name that God gives. He just says, I am what I am. I am that I caused to be. I've been here is what he is. It's not a name. It's a sentence. All right. What is in your hand? God asked. Moses answered, a stick, my dick. Oh, a stick. Throw it on the ground, God said. And when Moses did, the stick became a snake. Wowsies. That's a cool magic trick, God. Jehovah then showed Moses another miracle. He said, put your hand inside your pants. I mean your robe. Moses did. And when he took his hand out, just kidding. When he took his hand out, it was white, like he had a bad sickness called leprosy. That sounds like a really fun trick. I would love to just have spontaneous leprosy. And for my next trick, spontaneous leprosy. Okay. Next, Jehovah gave Moses the power to do a third miracle. Finally, he said, when you do these miracles, the Israelites will believe that I sent you. After that, Moses went home and said to Jethro, please let me go back to my relatives in Egypt to see how they are. So Jethro said goodbye to Moses, and Moses began his trip back to Egypt. Okay, so it looks like so this says the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. I'm calling bullshit because the Bible specifically says that Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac worshiped other gods. So in my opinion, I'm going to give you my opinion. In my opinion, what we have is an eschatological tale of trying to combine this God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob with this God Yahweh of Moses, of a non-existent, a legendary character, whatever you want to call it, and making them one God. Because, like I said, when you read the Bible, it specifically says El and other gods were their gods before them. So this is Yahweh saying, my name is I've always been here. So he's basically saying, I'm El in this case. I'm that God. So he's not really giving a new name, if you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of weird to me how this is where his name comes into play, but this is how it was done. I hope y'all are following along and I'm making sense. Worst magician ever. Look, it's a snake. Look, it's leprosy. Thanks. Wait, what? Seeing that sheep's eyes are on the side of their head, them looking directly at it, they aren't. I think I must have. Oh, I see. I had got to keep that bush trimmed. I try, I try. Moses maybe was high. That bush absolutely could have been some kind of bush. Okay. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. Was that it? Oh, look. Oh, shit. This is the picture. So here we got like these new magic tricks of everybody being able to throw down their staff and a snake comes. So even the Pharaoh's people throws down a staff and it becomes a snake. It's just that the snakes that Moses have and Aaron have, I guess that's Aaron, I'm not really sure, are more powerful. But they still all did the magic trick. It's like a little Pokemon thing. They appear, but Pikachu takes down Bulbasaur. Would Pikachu take down Bulbasaur? Electric. Who would do better? Pikachu take down better. I forget. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Hello. You're live streaming. Thank you. Stay on track. Moses practiced magic better. Exactly. He was just a better magician. Even though they weren't good magicians, his spell casting abilities, I don't know. I wonder if they just said, I would have imagined that they would have had to make some kind of commandment. They would have had to say the spell. I mean, isn't that kind of the part of the reason of keeping Yahweh's name, like not saying it, because you're invoking, you're invoking the God when you use their names and stuff. Okay. Do I have more to go? I feel like there's some stuff I want to talk about. Do y'all want me to keep doing this, or do you want me to oh, see, now the plagues are coming. Do you want to just keep going with the full Moses story? I didn't realize how much they gave Moses a lot of play in here. They gave him way more stories than I had realized. Their foundational character, his foundation has been uprooted. So it's going to be a struggle to continue to hold on to these old stories, but I'm guessing they're going to continue to try. What does Watchtower say about how they did the magic? Let's see about the magic. JW.org organization. Moses staff. Let's see if they talk about Moses staff. Oh, was Moses a water dowser? Oh. Okay, that's not exactly this one, but I think this is good information, Wally. Good call. How do I share? I gotta share another tab. I wish they would let me do multiple down. Okay. Can y'all see that? Wait, I can make that bigger. Boop, boop. Oh, cunt. Can I go a little smaller? Why you gotta be all like that? I don't know how to do anything different. Did I make y'all sick? Was Moses a water dowser? Moses, who brought forth water by striking a rock with a rod in Numbers, has been called the first water dowser. This is a notion that crops up frequently when the subject of dowsing is discussed. Recently, National Wildlife magazine matter-of-factly called Moses' staff a divining rod, and some dowsers believe that their power comes from Moses. Oh, I'm gonna love this white explanation. Please, white splain it, baby. I love white splaining. It's probably, I don't know if white splaining is above mansplaining or if mansplaining is above white splaining, but they're really on par. Quite to the contrary, though. Moses was the one who wrote down the command against divining. Oh, did he? Did Moses write stuff? Deuteronomy. And the miracle of Meribah was a far cry from water dowsing. You don't know because you weren't there. It definitely wasn't water dowsing. Many dowsers rely on a rod to search for hidden water. They follow it along, waiting for it to bob or jerk. But Moses never followed his staff around waiting for it to bob. In fact, he never searched for the water at all. Moses, oh God. Jehovah, the creator of the earth and its hidden springs of water, told Moses exactly where and how to get the water. So basically, if I were to hold my staff, I'm sure my God of water would tell me exactly where I need to go. That's the purpose of the divination tool. It's the rod. It's the connectivity to the God, you ninny. Do you not know how divination works? Oh, hurt me, mommy. Okay. The creator of the earth and its hidden springs of water told Moses exactly where and how to get the water. You must speak to the crag, God commanded, that it may indeed give its water. So he has to he's speaking a spell. You have to speak to the crag that it may indeed give its water. Oh, I am so glad you brought this up, Wally. Wally. Moreover, dowsers usually only tell people where to dig. When Moses' staff hit the rock, a torrent of water burst forth, enough to quench the thirst of an entire nation. Or maybe think of it this way, that maybe that's how things happen with the divination tool nowadays, but they're just giving a very exaggerated story about it. Oh, and he pointed his rod this way and the water just burst forth. Of course, they're going to put a little spin. A fish this big is going to be a fish this big. Derp de derp. Nobody's going to say a little stream came out and you had to lick the crack. Hello. I'm sorry, y'all. You must speak to the crag. God commanded that it may indeed give its water. Moreover, dowsers usually only tell people where to. Oh, did I already read that? Oh, Moses incurred God's wrath when he took some of the credit for this miracle. Yeah. How dare Moses say, "You're welcome. No big deal." How dare he? Much worse to give. Now, I love how they say this, but then the governing body will take credit for every single freaking thing. Oh, we did this and we did that. But how dare Moses take a little credit for the miracle? How much worse to give the credit to his staff, a senseless piece of. How is it a senseless piece of wood when it was a necessity and part of the ritual to find the water? Oh, whitewashing. I love the whitewashing. It's so much fun. Moses rolled a 16 and the priest rolled a 4. Yeah, they were probably casting like lots. And even lots is divination. They used to cast like knuckle bones. Regalia? No, that's not the word. I can't think of the name. Anyway, but yeah, that's how they would divvy up things, and they thought the god had some kind of control over it. It was a sign. Derp. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, who has hangover brain? Do you have hangover brain, Jay? Yeah, there's a lot of snakes. So let's talk a little bit about symbology just for a hot second. Because I love, obviously, y'all know I love Asherah and the symbology behind her. So snakes are a conduit of life. When you see snakes, like iconography, inscriptions, things of that nature, when the snake is upright, it is a conduit of life. Divinity is flowing through it. Regeneration, healing, and even when, we'll get to that story. When we get to the story of the pole with the snake, that is a sign of Asherah. They had to look at the snake for the healing powers, the source of the healing powers. Asherah. Okay. So that was a little boop, boop, little bypass. Snakes. Too many motherfucking snakes in this temple. Oh, help me, I don't know. Yeah, lick the crag, Wally. You can do it. Serpensordia? What's that mean? Serpensordia. Does that mean like a lot of snakes? I ain't that smart, y'all. Moses the Mancer, the water mancer. Oopsie. Hold on. Well, he could be necromancy too, but okay. No stories about death and sex with Moses. Just, I think that it could be kind of a phallic thing in some respects. I could see that. I don't know specifically that it is. I haven't read that, but I could see that in history there could be some correlation. Upright wiener. An upright wiener. Oh, and then like if you see the snake in a laying down position, it's more of like the otherworldly, chthonic, darker side of the snake, like its ability to be unseen and kind of be sneaky. So if you see that iconography of the snake is down, it's one meaning. And if the snake is in an upright position, it's another meaning. Just like in the Garden of Eden, the snake came up and was speaking to Eve in an upright position. So at that point, it was speaking truth. The snake is a truth speaker because, again, it's a conduit of life, reaching up into the heavens, down into the earth. It's all very symbolic, but again, we get that whitewashing, which takes away the really cool aspects of the stories. Anyway, let's keep going. How do I go back to this one? Stop. They make this way too difficult, and I'm probably missing the easy way to do it. He's like, oh my God, that snake looks delicious. Oh my God. Moses and Aaron see Pharaoh. Is this big enough? Hold on, I'm coming. Is that big? Oh, there we go. Okay. When Moses returned to Egypt, he told his brother Aaron all about the miracles. And when Moses and Aaron showed the Israelites these miracles, the people all believed that Jehovah was with them. Then Moses and Aaron went to see the Pharaoh. They told him, Jehovah, the God of Israel, says, let my people go for 3 days so they can worship me in the wilderness. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know that that was part of Asherah worship. Going out planting trees, motherfuckers, in the grove, Asherah's grove. Hello. Anyhow. But Pharaoh answered, I don't believe in Jehovah, and I'm not going to let Israel go. Okay. Pharaoh was angry because the people wanted time off from work to worship Jehovah. How dare they? Hello. So he forced them to work even harder. Okay. Now that sounds like a load of malarkey. You asked for a day off, so now I'm going to work you hard. Okay. Anyhow, so he forced them to work even harder. The Israelites blamed Moses. It's all Moses' fault. You shouldn't even ask Moses, stupid jerk-faced jerk. They blamed Moses for how badly they were treated, and Moses felt sad. Well, yeah, I'd feel sad too if I asked for something, and then because I asked. I can't say asked. That's how I say it. If you don't like it, you can eat my ass. What was I saying? Help me, Jesus. I don't know what I was saying. Okay. Pharaoh was angry because he asked for time off. So they made him work harder. Moses felt bad. So Jehovah said, don't worry, I will make Pharaoh let my people go. That was a lie. Maury Povich says that was a lie. So the time came for Jehovah to teach Pharaoh a lesson. Do you know how he did it? It was by bringing 10 plagues or great troubles on Egypt. You know, it's so weird. Like, don't you think that maybe if you did something like for the benefit of the Pharaoh, I feel like if he was like, look, I'm going to give you 10 times your herds. I'm going to multiply your grain stocks. Okay. So you're going to have food for years up in them stocks. I feel like Pharaoh would have been like, whoa, your God can do all this? Yeah. Not only are you going to go out in the wilderness and worship him, hello, honey, I'm coming too. Are you stupid? Is God stupid? I think God's stupid. Have you ever heard the phrase, you get more bees with honey? You get flies with shit, man. Anyhow. Rant over. Moses and Aaron went to see Pharaoh again. This time they did a mirror. I'm sorry. Let me just check and make sure y'all aren't saying nothing. I apologize if I'm not answering. So the staff take a dump. Yeah, I wonder if it like went from a snake back into a like staff. Interesting. Yes, we're going to go back to licking the crack. Thank you. Here we go. Boy, I'm really good at sidetracking. All right, Moses and Aaron went to see the Pharaoh again. This time they did a miracle. Aaron threw down his stick and it became a big snake. But Pharaoh's wise men also threw down sticks and snakes appeared. Okay, so they're like, wop, bop, bop, snake. Look, Aaron's snake is eating up the snakes of the wise men. Still, Pharaoh would not let the Israelites go. Wise men. So here we got some magi. So these are magicians. So we're saying that Aaron and Moses aren't magicians, but they're doing the same actions as magicians. Whitewashing. Okay. I keep losing my place. Still, Pharaoh would not let the Israelites go. So even the Pharaoh sitting there watching all these magic tricks happen in front of him, he's like, no, it's just, you're staying here. So the time came for Jehovah to teach Pharaoh a lesson. Do you know how he did it? It was by bringing 10 plagues or great troubles on Egypt. Thanks so much, Pharaoh. I mean, Yahweh. Sounds really cool. I love when kids get punished for the sins of their parents. Oh, that's right. The Bible says that you will be punished for the sins of your parents. For generations. Exactly. Okay. After many of the plagues, Pharaoh sent for Moses and said, "Stop the plague and I will let Israel go." But when the plague would stop, Pharaoh would change his mind. Y'all, okay. He would not let the people go. But finally, after the 10th plague, Pharaoh sent the Israelites away. It took 10 plagues for dude to learn a lesson. I just can't see it. I can't see it. If someone stood before me and said, "I am going to make the ground open up right here in front of you," I'd be like, "Okay, let's see it." And if they made the ground open up right in front of me, I'd be like, "Okay, something's up. You probably know something I don't." All right, here's the 10 plagues. Let's talk about the 10 plagues. Oh, look, that looks like some good soup. Tomato soup. It's chunky tomato soup. God made the first plague. "I will turn the Nile into chunky Campbell's chunky tomato soup." I'm not that funny. Look at the pictures. Each one shows a plague that Jehovah brought on Egypt. In the first picture, you can see Aaron hitting the Nile River with his stick, but he's not a diviner. And that stick is stupid. He don't even need it. But oh my gosh, he keeps using it like he does need it, so maybe he needs it. When he did, the water in the river turned to blood. The fish died and the river began to stink. That's really gross. Next, Jehovah caused frogs to come out of the Nile River. They were everywhere, in the ovens, the baking pans, in the people's beds, everywhere. When the frogs died, the Egyptians piled them up in great heaps, and the land stank with them. Okay. Then Aaron hit the ground with his stick and the dust. Wow, he keeps using his stick. And you know what? I didn't realize, I forgot that it was Aaron bringing the plagues. Okay, well, I guess they both are doing it. I didn't realize it. Okay, I forgot. All right, so then Aaron hit the ground with his stick and the dust turned to gnats. These are small flying bugs that bite. The gnats were the third plague on the land of Egypt. The rest of the plagues hurt only the Egyptians, not the Israelites. So the other plagues hurt the Israelites too. So God's way of saving his people is by killing his people, basically, and hurting his people, because he just doesn't know any other way.
He's just a little God. He doesn't understand. It's very hard being God and making the right decisions. So every decision I make is just right by default.
Okay. Sorry. The rest of the plagues hurt only the Egyptians, not the Israelites. The fourth was the plague of big flies that swarmed into the houses of all the Egyptians. The fifth plague that was on the animals, many of the cattle and sheep and goats of the Egyptians died. Next, Moses and Aaron took some ashes and threw them into the air. They caused bad sores on the people and the animals. Now, come on, man. Y'all are just hurting the animals. This is not very kind of God. Not very kind at all. After that, Moses raised his hand toward the sky, and Jehovah sent thunder and hail. It was the worst hailstorm that Egypt had ever had. The eighth plague was a large swarm of locusts. Never before that time or since had there been so many locusts. They ate everything that the hail had not destroyed. The ninth plague was of, boy, the animals are just getting slaughtered left and right. Like that had to freaking be, they're probably drowning, they're getting hit by hail, like conked on the head, probably like bullet hole. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to be mean, but that's probably what's happening. Okay. The ninth plague was of darkness. For 3 days, thick darkness covered the land, but the Israelites had light where they were living. Huh? Okay, so there's a thick darkness in the land, but the Israelites had light. So did light just follow the Israelite? Like, did they glow? Maybe maybe the Israelites would glow and therefore have light. How else is that going to be possible? You just got patches of light and darkness. Come on now. Finally, God told his people to sprinkle the blood of a young goat or a young sheep on their doorposts. Then God's angel passed over Egypt. When the angel saw the blood, he did not kill anyone in that house. But in all the houses where there was no blood on the doorposts, God's angel killed the firstborn, ones of both man and animals. Yahweh. This was the 10th plague. After this last plague, Pharaoh told the Israelites to leave. God's people were all ready to go, and that very night they started their march out of Egypt. As a side note, which I didn't even think about, I believe there is a lot of mention of Resheph, and Resheph is the Canaanite god of disease. And I'm pretty sure that it mentions disease and destruction. Now, I don't know if that was Resheph or two separate gods that they're mentioning, but God had help. Like this wasn't, I keep saying God. I really just need to say Yahweh because God means more than just this. But Yahweh had help. So it's likely that it wasn't an angel that was helping him. It's likely it was these other gods. But obviously, if Yahweh is the, the big daddy in the pantheon now, he's daddy. So all the other gods would be technically his sons. So of course he's going to use his sons. Of course he's going to have his, what's it called in Psalms? His inheritance, but the assembly, his assembly of gods. It's not angels, it's the Elohim. Anywho, so that's really cool part of the story that doesn't get talked about much is the fact that God has help of not an angel, but plague and death and destruction. Sporks. Oops, I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, chunkies. Oh, because we're talking about soup. We're talking about the plague, the soup plague. For my next trick, I will turn all the spoons into sporks. There we go. I missed the joke. That's the joke. Sporks. This is a much better way to consume Bible content because just reading through it on my own is a trick, right? And there's just all these little nuanced things you don't know, like these little sidebars that I still haven't even gotten to because I didn't realize there was so much in my book of Bible stories. I completely don't know how I didn't think about that. Don't know. Yeah, that's maybe what it was. Some had sunblock, some did not have sunblock. That's why Moses was glow. We figured it out, Wally. I bet you it was some kind of magic potion that he would have to rub on his body, an ointment, if you will, a magical ointment that they would rub on their body and they would glow. It would be like a glow up. Like a true what's the vampire movie? Edward Cullen. There we go. Edward Cullen moment. Cast light is a cantrip? No spell slots? Cantrip. What's a cantrip? I probably should know what that means. I know. I was like, I'm like, what are you saying here? Yeah, Wally, why do you just have a W? Come on now, Wally. You got to get with the program. Oopies. I just highlighted. Oh dear. Hold on. Sorry, I'm clicking. No. Wait. Hold on, y'all. Oh. That's what happens when you start clicking buttons. Okay, here we go. Let's cross the Red Sea, shall we? Because it sounds like fun. We're nearing, I think. All right, crossing the Red Sea. Look at what is happening. That is Moses with his stick stretched out over the Red Sea. Those with him safely on the other side are the Israelites. But Pharaoh and all his armies are being drowned in the sea. Let's see how this came about. As we learned, Pharaoh told the Israelites to leave Egypt after God brought the 10th plague on the Egyptians. About 600,000. No. About 600,000 Israelite men left, as well as many women and children. Also, a large number of other people who had become believers in Jehovah left with the Israelites. Okay, they all took their sheep and goats and cattle with them. Before they left, the Israelites asked the Egyptians for clothes and for things made of gold and silver. The Egyptians were very much afraid because of the last plague upon them. So they gave the Israelites everything they asked for. Okay, so I guess Pharaoh eventually learns his lesson. That's what we're told. He lets the Egyptians go. Not only that, the Israelites walk away rich because they give everything they ask of them. And because of the plagues, they gave everything they asked of them. But then we find out that the Pharaoh changes his mind. Okay. After a few days, the Israelites came to the Red Sea. There they rested. In the meantime, Pharaoh and his men began to feel sorry that they had sent the Israelites away. We have let our slaves go, they said. Wow, you know what that kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Jim Crow. It's kind of giving me America. It's giving me Juneteenth. It's giving me freeing the slaves and then deciding, let's write laws to continue slavery legally with is it the 13th Amendment? Wowsies, y'all. I didn't even intend to make the correlation today, but here we have a correlation of modern day America. Wowsies. So Pharaoh changed his mind once more. He quickly got his war chariot and his army ready. Then he began to chase after the Israelites with 600 special chariots, as well as all the other chariots of Egypt. When the Israelites saw Pharaoh and his army coming after them, they were very much afraid. There was no way to flee. Okay, so here we go. We've got the Israelites on one side. We've got this is Moses, I believe, because Moses was the one who had to hold his staff up, right? Because didn't they make a point of saying he was like tired? Oh, my arm hurts. So here he is holding his divining rod, controlling the river, parting the river with his rod. Wowsies, not such a stupid stick, it seems. It really just doesn't seem like a stupid stick, J-dubs. All right. The Red Sea was on one side of them, and here the Egyptians were coming from the other direction. But Jehovah put a cloud between his people and the Egyptians, so the Egyptians were not able to see the Israelites to attack them. Jehovah then told Moses to stretch out his stick over the Red Sea. When he did, Jehovah caused a strong east wind to blow. The waters of the sea were parted, and the waters were held up on both sides. Wow, that's really cool, God. Then the Israelites began to march through the sea on dry ground. It took hours for the millions of millions of people. Imagine millions of people crossing a sea and not finding one scrap of evidence. Not a nothing, not a chariot wheel, nothing. Okay. Wowsies. It took hours for the millions of people with all their animals to get to safely through the sea to the other side. Finally, the Egyptians were able to see the Israelites again. Their slaves were getting away. Oh no. So they rushed into the sea after them. When they did, God caused the wheels of their chariots to fall off. The Egyptians became very much afraid and began to cry out, Jehovah is fighting for the Israelites against us. Let's get out of here. But it was too late. They were like, oh man, hey, look, this sea, there's two big walls of water. I mean, that's not normal, but I bet it's safe that we go through. I mean, wouldn't you kind of just be like, nope. I just saw that God caused darkness for 3 days. People were glowing. Animals died. Hail that we've never seen before. All these insects. I think I'm going to take the loss. But no. The Egyptians are just so stupid. they're really stupid and they wanted their slaves back, so they rushed into the sea after them. When they did, God caused the wheels of their chariots to fall. Oh, they just fell off. They were like, bloop. He popped their tires. The Egyptians became, you're going to need what's the jack? You're going to need a jack and a wrench and a lug nut wrench thing. Okay, the Egyptians became very much afraid and began to cry out, Jehovah is fighting for the Israelites against us. Yeah, like they had done previously, you numbnuts. Let's get out of here, but it was too late. This is when Jehovah told Moses to stretch out his stick over the Red Sea, as you saw in the picture. And when Moses did, the walls of the water began to come back and cover the Egyptians and their chariots. And the whole army had followed the Israelites into the sea, and not one of the Egyptians got out alive. Whew. How happy all God's people were to be saved. The men sang a song of thanks to Jehovah, saying, Jehovah has won a glorious victory. He has thrown the horses and their riders into the sea. Oh, that was a beautiful song. Moses' sister Miriam took her tambourine, and all the women followed her with their tambourines. And as they danced with the joy, they sang the same song as the men were singing. Jehovah has won a glorious victory. He has thrown the horses and the riders into the sea. I should be an entertainer. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Oh, hey. How you doing, Titan? Howdy doody, howdy doody. No stories written of it in Egypt either. What are you speaking of exactly? I'm sorry. No stories written of it. Oh, yes. You're right. I'm sorry. Duh. Yes. I would say that the Egyptians were very good note takers. They documented everything. I mean, not everything maybe, but they documented a lot of stuff. Look at all the stuff that has just recently been discovered. I think we found another more parts of to the Book of the Dead, which is so similar to, is it Proverbs? I can't remember. Sorry, y'all. Off the top of my head, I can't always remember all the things in my brain, but it's very interesting how they would write a lot of things down, but no notice of a group of millions of people just leaving. Now, what they do have is stories about some people saying like, y'all need to leave. You need to leave. You need to kick rocks. Y'all are just doing too much. We need you to go. So we do have some stories of that. Like, y'all are annoying. Egyptian chariots are high tech for the time. Yes, that was very, very high tech. Made to transport easily and take apart and put together easily. That's a very good point. And the Bible makes a lot of, they speak pretty negatively about chariots. Remember when, so they used to have chariots on the outside of the temple. And do you remember when who was that? Was that Ahaziah? No, or was that, I don't remember which king, but the one king who tore down the horses and the chariots that were outside of the temple. Obviously, some kind of like iconography, stone carving, don't know, have no idea. But they tore that down. And a lot of that is because Yahweh don't like chariots. He don't like them because he can't defeat them, if you know what I mean. Google would finesse their app to make it more usable, but that would cost an infinitesimal amount of money. I have an infinitesimal amount of words, and infinitesimal is one of them. Okay, that didn't even make sense. I'm just talking out my ass. Okay. Oh, that was a hiccup. Good for me. Deliverance from Egypt to Israel's first king. Is this, I'm getting to the point where oh Lord, man, there is so much more to the Moses story. Do y'all want me to keep going? I feel like I did not realize there's so much. Should we continue Moses later, or do y'all want to keep going? There's more divination. There's more worship of El, the bull El. Wowsies. And I do believe that Baal was also called a bull, but bulls were symbols of power and whatnot. So makes sense. Y'all tell me what you want to do. You want me to keep going? I just didn't realize. Do you want to keep going? The Moses Ark is what it is, right? I guess I hadn't processed how much info there was about him, but it's important. Like I had said in the description about Sargon of Akkad and the similarities in the stories, which is what I was trying to eventually get to, because Sargon of Akkad was also floated down a river. He was also raised by somebody who was like important, a high priest or whatever. And so comes from someone who comes from a humble beginning, who is put into a position of power, just like Moses, a humble Israelite put into a position of power. So very similar in that sense. And many of the stories of Sargon of Akkad are probably just stories, or maybe partially true. We don't know. But we know he was a real person. Now, Moses, a person who comes much later, Sargon of Akkad is that like 2000 BCE, 3000 BCE, something like that? 2500 BCE. And Moses what is his story supposed to be taking place? What's Moses? Is he like 1000 BCE? And we don't have any of it. Like, come on. It's obvious it's just a story. It's meant to take pieces of their history, the stories that they heard when they were in Babylon, and made them their own and created their own their creation story, if you will. And they did create their own creation story. And some of it's similar to other narratives, but this is when all this was happening, and it makes sense. You want to know who you are and why you are. And for that, I have so much respect. I just hate that Christians take everything literally because they don't care about history. They don't want the truth. Yeah, something, thanks, Wally. Something like that. I think, oh, my butt. I gotta move this. I was sitting on my blanket and I think my ass is hot. So y'all, quickly, yesterday I was cleaning, and I guess I could yesterday I was cleaning. Well, I didn't even put mascara on. Don't matter. And I was in my laundry room, and my laundry basket has this metal bar that broke. So like it's sticking up like on one of the corners, the bar sticking up. And I kept saying, I'm going to hurt myself on this freaking piece of metal. And I kept saying I need to get a new goddamn clothes hamper. So guess what I did when I was cleaning? I squatted my ass onto this metal pole, this little tiny metal pole. It was sharp on my hiney. I almost hit my hiney hole. Okay? Like, I'm not lying to you, y'all. It there in that area, and it hurts. So I was sitting on the blanket, but it's not. I didn't like wham bam down on it. Thankfully, I was doing my slow drop. I didn't do like a hard drop. That would have been bad. I was doing like a slow drop it challenge. So I caught myself in time. Okay. Yeah. I was afraid. I was like, oh my God, I almost went to my hiney hole, or my tutor, my pooter hole. Only me. I threw that motherfucker out immediately. I was like, okay, you're gone. Gonzo, Dunzo. Lesson learned. Pootie hole? That's funny. Okay. Y'all did not answer me. Do you want me to keep going about Moses or should we continue next week? Do you I need to know. And does anybody want to join me? Like I said, if you're more than welcome to join me. I was well, because I've been exercising, I've been learning how to use my body better. And hopefully I will stop hurting and injuring my body because I don't know how to use it because I'm very just, you see me, I'm just flexible. I'm out here. I move a lot, but I also hurt myself a lot. It's just not a good combination. So I'm learning how to be in my body. And when I squat, I try to go slow because I'm trying to feel my butt cheeks. I'm trying to let my glutes do the work. If you want to do the work, you should do it more slowly and squeezy instead of those fast pumpy things. Well, at least that's how I feel. Anyhow, I'm not an athlete. So. Okay, you're working and listen. Oh, that's right, Jonathan. You had to work all day today. I'm sorry. I watched your video. Y'all, make sure you watch Wally's cooking video. He put a video out yesterday. And make sure you watch Jonathan, Ex-Witness Awakes video, because they just did one on, Jonathan, what? My brain. What did it? Oh, money donations. Was that what it was about? Friendly reminder if you don't mind, but it was a good video. Always like the videos on the org. Okay, so here we go. Deliverance from Egypt to Israel's first king. Moses led the Israelites from captivity in Egypt to Mount Sinai, where God gave them his laws. Later, Moses sent 12 men to spy out the land of Canaan, but 10 of them returned with a bad report. They caused the people to want to go back to Egypt. For their lack of faith, God punished the Israelites by having them wander for 40 years in the wilderness. And yes, I think that sounds appropriate. Finally, Joshua was chosen to lead the Israelites into the land of Canaan to help them take the land. Jehovah caused miracles to happen. He made the Jordan River stop flowing, the walls of Jericho to fall down, lies, and the sun to stand still for a whole day. After 6 years, the land was taken from the Canaanites. Okay, it's just not even, okay. Beginning with Joshua, Israel was ruled for 356 years by judges. We learn about many of them, including Barak, Gideon, Jephthah, Samson, and Samuel. We also, now they didn't even mention, oh my God, who's the woman judge? Oh, that's really bad. You bad, bad girl. You bad, bad girl. Now I'm mad at myself. We learn about many of them, including Barak, Gideon, Jephthah, Samson, and Samuel. We also read about such women as Rahab, Deborah, Jael, Ruth, Naomi, and Delilah. In all, part 3 covers 396 years of history. Yeah, I love how they don't mention. Oh, Deborah. Is Deborah the judge? Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm really upset that I can't remember. Average lifespan? I thought the average lifespan was like 40 something. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Deborah. Okay, so it was Deborah. Thank you. For whatever reason, I had a little brain toot. A new kind of food. Can you tell what the people are picking up off the ground? It is like a frost. It is white, thin, and flaky, but it's not frost. It's something to eat. It's been only about a month since the Israelites left Egypt. They are in the wilderness. Little food grows here, and so the people complained, saying, "We wish that Jehovah had killed us in Egypt. At least there we had food. We had all the food that we wanted." So Jehovah says, "I'm going to cause food to rain down from the sky." And this is what Jehovah does. The next morning, when the Israelites see this white stuff that has fallen, they ask one another, "What is it?" Moses says, "This is the food that Jehovah has given you to eat." The people call it manna. It tastes like thin cakes made with honey. You are to pick up as much as each person can eat, Moses tells the people. So each morning, this is what they do. Then when the sun gets hot, the manna left on the ground melts. Moses also says, no one is to save any of the manna over the next day, but some of the people don't listen. Do you know what happens? The next morning, the manna that they have saved is full of worms, and it begins to stink. There is one day of the week, however, that Jehovah tells the people to gather twice as much manna. This is the 6th day, and Jehovah says to save some over to the next day because he will not cause any to fall on the 7th day. When they save the manna over to the 7th day, it doesn't get full of worms and it doesn't stink. This is another miracle. All the years that the Israelites are in the wilderness, Jehovah feeds them with manna. So Jehovah punishes the Israelites, and because of this punishment, he now has to do more work. So much so that he has to make sure he rests, as you do, on the seventh day. So on the sixth day, they have to do a bit more work, collect more manna, so that way on the seventh day, they do no work and no manna falls. Weird, huh? To think that Jehovah could just take them out of the wilderness and make things a bit easier on himself. No, he just likes to see people punished. So you have to imagine if they're in the wilderness for 40 years, we've got a whole generation of people just done at some point. And whole new kids growing up like, damn, why have we been out here? Like, can we leave the wilderness? Is there a reason we keep going in circles? Is there a reason why we're staying here? Can we leave the wilderness? Can we go to Canaan? Anyhow, I don't understand. Manna. There's no way that you could eat the same thing every day for 40 years and not die. Unless that manna was literally had every nutrient that you would need. But I don't see how that's possible. You'd be, what's it called when you get when you don't have enough nutrients? Not scabies. Oh, I don't know the word. Scurvy. You would get scurvy, right? Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm reading and I didn't. Leave it to Beaver. Leave it to Beaver. Sorry, y'all. Y'all didn't get to see the manna picture. Here's the manna picture. Doesn't it look lovely? I don't know about you, but I like to make sure that I eat all my food off the ground and don't wash it. Apples, oranges, pizza. I mean, you're probably getting some good bacteria and fiber. Am I right? Here we go. Jehovah gives his laws. So about 2 months after they leave Egypt, the Israelites come to Mount Sinai, which is also called Horeb. This is the same place where Jehovah spoke to Moses from the burning bush. The people camp here and stay for a while. As the people wait below, Moses climbs up the mountain. Up there on top of the mountain, Jehovah tells Moses that he wants the Israelites to obey him and to become his special people. When Moses comes down, he tells the Israelites what Jehovah has said. And the people say that they will obey Jehovah because they want to be his people. Jehovah now does a strange thing. Jehovah makes a strange? Weird that they say that Jehovah is doing a strange thing. He makes the top of the mountain smoke and causes loud thunder. He also speaks to the people. I am Jehovah your God who brought you out of Egypt. Then he commands, you must not worship any other gods except me. So God admits there's other gods. God gives the Israelites 9 more commandments or lies. God gives them like hundreds of commandments. God gives the Israelites 9 more commandments or laws. Actually, he gives them commandments 2 separate times. The people are afraid, and the second time, the laws are changed. So evolution is a thing. The people are very afraid. They tell Moses, you speak to us because we are afraid that if God speaks to us, we may die. Later, Jehovah tells Moses, come up to me in the mountain. I will give you 2 flat stones, which I have written the laws that I want the people to keep. I don't feel like you're fitting 200 and something laws on 2 stones. Am I wrong? Well, they don't use vowels. So I guess maybe. I don't know. So Moses, again, goes up to the mountain. For 40 days and 40 nights, he stays there. Notice all the 40. A lot of 40s. Lots and lots of, there's 40s in the Noah story. Lots. About to drink my 40. Remember, Jesus is in the wilderness 40 days and nights. Yeah, it's just, God has many, many laws for his people. Many, 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 many men. Moses writes these laws down. God also gives Moses the 2 flat stones. On these, God himself has written the 10 laws that he spoke to all the people. They are called the 10 commandments. So he gives them many, many laws, but he only calls them 10 commandments. So the other commandments aren't commandments. It's kind of weird, right? Doesn't make sense. They don't know what they're talking about when they start going down this road of here's the commandments and what we're supposed to follow. What about all these other ones? The 10 commandments are important laws, but so are the many other laws that God, here we go. So are the other laws that God gives the Israelites. One of these laws is you must love Jehovah your God with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole soul, and your whole strength. You must love him. Love me. God's son, Jesus Christ, said that these are the 2 greatest laws that Jehovah gave to his people, Israel. Later, we will learn many things about God's son and his teaching. Oh, look at that. Moses is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. Ooh, the golden calf. Ooh, oh, what are the people doing now? They're praying to a calf. Why are they doing this? When Moses stays up on the mountain for a long time, the people say, we do not know what has happened to Moses, so let's make a god to lead us out of this land. Well, because he was gone for 40 days, they probably thought the dude was dead. All right, Moses' brother Aaron says, that sounds like a really good plan. So Aaron, who's supposed to be a knowledgeable person who has worked directly with Yahweh, is like, yeah, let's absolutely make some images of God. Okay. Yeah. Anyhow. So take off your gold earrings and bring them to me. When the people do so, Aaron melts them down and makes a golden calf. And the people say, this is our God who led us out of Egypt. Then the Israelites have a big party and worship the golden calf. It's very interesting that in the wilderness that these people are able to do all this stuff. Interesting. Oh, is that Miriam up front with her tambourine, I guess? Oh, and guess who takes the fall for this? Aaron's the one who does all the crap, and then Miriam takes the fall. This is our God who led us out of Egypt. When Jehovah sees this, he is very angry. So he says to Moses, hurry up and go down. The people are acting very badly. They have forgotten my laws and are bowing down to a golden calf. Moses hurries down the mountain, and he's so angry that he just freaking throws the commandments on the ground. That should have been a sin punishable by death. God just spent all that time writing it with his own hand, and you just drop them on the ground. Drop it like it's hot. When Moses sees this, when he gets close, this is what he sees. The people are singing and dancing around the golden calf. Moses is so angry that he throws down the 2 flat stones with the laws on them, and they break into many, many pieces. He then takes the golden calf and melts it down. Then he grinds it into powder. The people have done a very bad thing. So Moses tells some of the men to take their swords. The bad people who worship the golden calf must die, Moses says. And so the men strike dead 3,000 people. Doesn't this show that we need to be careful to worship only Jehovah and not any false gods? Isn't it weird that Aaron, the one who made the idol, doesn't get killed? Untouchable. When people are chosen by God, they are untouchable. Everything they do, they may get a little bit of punishment, but they are okay. All right. Are we still going here? Are we still here? Was the mountain an act? Maybe that's why it was smoking, Jonathan, because it was an active volcano. Maybe that's what was so strange about it. Yeah, you would eventually just get very ill because you would start to lack all the nutrients you need. You die of scurvy. Thank you. You died of scurvy. I feel like that's the Oregon Trail. You died of scurvy. Ex-witness away says 10 commandments and the strongly worded suggestions. Yes. J, it took Moses 40 days to make the tablets. Yeah, it took Moses 40 days. I'm like, what the frick am I going to tell these people? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's very absurd, right, Wally? Super absurd. How in the flying flock of seagulls, and I run, making golden statues when they can't find fresh food and water. They're making idols. That's one of my all-time favorite songs. I don't know why. Okay, now that song's stuck in my head. And Aaron then said, women, am I right? And God struck her with leprosy. Yeah, because wasn't Miriam the one who was, she's like never heard of again. It's like, dude, how horrible. Aaron gets off scot-free. All right, here is the tabernacle. I used to stare at the tabernacle, wondering what it would have been like to be inside with all the images of like the cherubim and the palm leaves. And it must have been really dope. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, it must have been pretty freaking dope. All right. Oopsies. Do you know what this building is? It is a special tent for worshiping Jehovah. It is also called the tabernacle. The people finished building it 1 year after they left Egypt. Do you know whose idea it was to build it? It was Jehovah's idea. I'm sure it was. While Moses was up on Mount Sinai, Jehovah told him how to build it. He said to make it so that it could easily be taken apart. In this way, the parts could be carried to another place and there be put together again. So when the Israelites moved from place to place in the wilderness, they carried the tent with them. This sounds like a lot of extra work. Why did they keep wandering? I don't understand the purpose of the wandering. Just stay put. You're making extra work. I need a hit. If you look inside the small room at the end of the tent, you can see a box or a chest. This is called the Ark of the Covenant. Interesting, because Moses was put into an ark, a teva. This is called the teva, Ark of the Covenant. It had 2 angels or cherubs made of gold, one on each end. And let me tell you, the cherubs that they kind of put like in the Garden of Eden, that they would have been way evil looking. They would not have looked like that. They were meant to cause fear. They wouldn't look like 2 white guys with their arms crossed and some pretty wings, like on Lucifer. I mean, Lucifer's cute and everything, the show, but like, yeah, not what they look like. If you look inside the small room at the end, you can see a box or chest. This is called the Ark of the Covenant. 2 angels or cherubs made of gold, one on each end. God again wrote the 10 commandments on 2 flat stones because Moses had broken the first ones. And these stones were kept inside the Ark of the Covenant. Also, a jar of manna was kept inside of it. Do you remember what manna is? Okay, so why was a jar of manna kept inside when you were not supposed to keep manna? Right? Moses' brother Aaron is the one that Jehovah chooses to be the high priest. So he can get all the gold together, create an idol of El, and that's okay. He's forgiven. He can be the leader in worshiping Jehovah, and his sons are priests too. Damn, just pass that privilege on down, my friend. Now look at the bigger picture, the bigger room of the tent. Excuse me. It is twice as big as the small room. Do you see the box or little chest with some smoke going up from it? This is the altar where the priests burn some sweet smelling stuff called incense. Then there is the lampstand that has 7 lamps. And the third thing in the room is a table. On it are kept 12 loaves of bread. So just look at that quickly. You can see like there's a different room here, bigger room here. In the yard of the tabernacle, there is a big bowl or basin that is filled with water. The priests use it for washing. There is also the big altar. Here the dead animals are burned as an offering to Jehovah. The tent is right in the middle of the camp, and the Israelites live in their tents all around it. You know what is also interesting about this tent? There is spoken, I have to do some more research in it. I haven't gotten that far yet, but there is a group of women who are likely protectors of the tabernacle. They stand outside of the temple. That is their job. It is possible that they were some kind of either priests that protect the temple or maybe some soldiers who protect the temple. But yeah, there were women who had positions that they kind of tried to erase from history, which is unfortunately. Bye. Thank you for coming, Wally. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good day. All right. Here we go. So that is the tabernacle. So it's meant to be taken apart. And right here you can see, I think you can see my anyhow, my arrow. Gosh, help me. So this picture you can see is oh gosh, my brain is not working. I just took a hit. But this represents the tree of life. And this symbol was found on a pithoi, a jar from Lachish Ur, I believe, and the name Alat, which is Asherah. So Asherah, as the tree of life, symbology, it was turned into this symbol of, now Jewish iconography, which is super duper cool. But I love the fact that this represented the goddess. This represented El's wife, Asherah, Yahweh's wife, Asherah, and is still used today. The 12 spies. Look at the fruit these men are carrying. See how big that bunch of grapes is? It takes 2 men to carry on a pole. And see the figs and the pomegranates? Where did these beautiful fruit come from? From the land of Canaan. Remember, Canaan is where Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob once lived. But because of the famine there with his family, Jacob with his family moved to Egypt. Now, about 216 years later, Moses is leading the Israelites back to Canaan. They have come to a place in the wilderness called Kadesh. Bad people live in the land of Canaan. Well, they're just naughty, naughty people. So Moses sends out 12 spies and tells them, find out how many people live there and how strong they are. Find out if the ground is good for growing things, and be sure to bring back some of the fruit. When the spies come back to Kadesh, they tell Moses, it is really a fine country, and to prove it, they show Moses some of the fruit. But 10 of the spies say, the people who live there are big and strong. We will be killed if we try to take the land. The Israelites are afraid when they hear this. It would have been better to die in Egypt or even here in the wilderness, they say. We will be killed in battle, and our wives and children will be captured. Let's choose a new leader in place of Moses and go back to Egypt. But 2 of the spies trust in Jehovah and try to calm the people. Their names are Joshua and Caleb. They say, do not be afraid. Jehovah is with us. It'll be easy to take the land. But the people don't listen. They even want to kill Joshua and Caleb. This makes Jehovah angry, very angry. And he tells Moses, none of the people from 20 years of age and over will go into the land of Canaan. They have seen the miracles that I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, but they still don't trust me. So they will wander in the wilderness for 40 years until the last person dies. Only Joshua and Caleb will go into the land of Canaan. Okay, so anybody over the age of 20 years old is not allowed to go into Canaan. So what we have is a bunch of youngsters and some old men, which would be Moses, would be an old dude. I'm guessing Aaron would be an old dude, and maybe some of Aaron's kids would be older. I'm not really sure. So a bunch of kids are going to make it into Canaan because somehow the giants know how to grow giant food. Interesting. Where is all the giant food? Like, what happened to the giant food? Does anybody know what happened to the giant food? Oopsie, I forgot to click that off. I don't know. There were 600 and something more commandments. I wonder where, was there six? I couldn't remember, but I knew there was like 200 one time, another 200 something another time. It's like, come on, man. That's a lot of damn commandments. Weird. The faithful slaves, Caleb and Sophia, saw that it was good. Oh, poor Caleb and Sophia. I feel so bad for them. They're not real, but, they're brainwashed kids. All right. Aaron's rod grows flowers. Oh, not the rod you think I'm talking about. See the flowers and ripe almonds growing from this rod or stick? This is the rod of Aaron. These flowers and the ripe fruit grew out of Aaron's rod in just one night. Let's see why. The Israelites have been wandering in the wilderness for a while now. Some of the people don't think Moses should be the leader or that Aaron should be the high priest. Korah is one who thinks this way, and so are Dathan, Abiram, and 250 leaders of the people. These all come and say to Moses, why is it that you put yourself above the rest of us? Okay, what I'm confused about is Korah and these other men must be only 20 years of age or younger, right? Because wouldn't they have been killed? Moses tells Korah and his followers, tomorrow morning take the fire holders and put incense in them. Then come to Jehovah's tabernacle. We will see whom Jehovah will choose. The next day, Korah hides, and his 250 followers come to the tabernacle. Many others come along to support these men. Jehovah is very angry. Get away from the tents of these bad men, Moses says. Don't touch anything that belongs to them. The people listen and move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Moses says, by this you will know that Jehovah has chosen. The ground will open whom Jehovah has chosen. The ground will open and swallow up these bad men. As soon as Moses stops talking, the ground opens. Korah's tent and the belongings and Dathan and Abiram and those with them go down, and the ground closes over them. When the people hear the cries of those falling into the ground, they shout, run, the earth might swallow us too. Korah and his 250 followers are all still near the tabernacle. So Jehovah sends fire and all of them are burned up. Then Jehovah tells Aaron's son Eleazar to take the fire holders of the dead men and to make a thin covering for the altar with them. This altar covering is to serve as a warning to the Israelites that no one besides Aaron and his son should act as priests for Jehovah. But Jehovah wants to make very clear that it is Aaron and his sons whom he has chosen to be priests. So he tells Moses, have a leader of each tribe of Israel bring his rod. For the tribe of Levi, have Aaron bring his rod. Then put each of these rods in the tabernacle in front of the Ark of the Covenant. The rod of the man that I have chosen as priest will grow flowers. When Moses looks the next morning, why, Aaron's rod has these flowers and ripe almonds growing out of it. So do you see now why Jehovah calls Aaron's rod to grow flowers? Oh, so also too, it's likely that the tree of life, I'm so sorry. The tree of life, a lot of times the top of the tree is an almond shape. So it's likely it could be a tamarisk tree, it could be an almond tree, but again, these are all symbols of the goddess. So it's very interesting. They're using her symbology in this story, right? Very interesting. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Well, yeah. They might be Let's kids. Oh, Caleb and Sophia are Let's kids. What a letdown. But shh. No, I'm not funny. But I play one on TV. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is so, I feel like we might have to continue this later because I'm getting tired. I'm tired. And I think I might want to eat lunch. And there's still like a few stories. And then I wanted to go into like some more about Sargon of Akkad, and I wanted to go into about Midian, but I'm losing my steamsies. I'm running out of steam. I'm just a little girl. So I think I might end that there. Oh, y'all. Okay. I wanted to tell you before I forget. So I'm hoping, I don't know 100% sure, but I'm hoping that Thursday on Pious Placebo, it's going to be Lady Cassie. I got to get a hold of Tara and confirm with her she said to get a hold of her. So I got to message her and see, because we want to do a show about, just about deconstruction and whatnot, being an Indigenous person, but, about MMIW. I think it's Indigenous Month in Canada. I forget. There's some stuff going on that I think we just really want to talk about. So I'm hoping that's going to be Thursday show. If it's not this Thursday show, it's going to be Thursday coming soon. And also at 3:00 today, Outworldly, Capitan, I'm sorry, somebody else are going to be talking about some of the J-dubs. Oh, I clicked a no. Oh no, where'd I click? I don't know how to get off the no. I clicked, I could just do that and then do that. Boy, I'm special sometimes. Yes, so they're going to go over some information about the Jehovah's Witness organization, possibly about the Norway shunning case. I'm not sure, but it sounds like it will be really good. I hope y'all will be there. I'm definitely going to be there. I set my alarm so that way I don't forget anything else. So hopefully next week we'll continue this and talk more about Moses' whole story and why they have this eschatological tale of the reasons they do certain practices, why they have a Passover. And again, and some of these are important to Christians too, because they thought Jesus was going to be the next Moses. Little did they know Moses never existed. It's like, oof. How can you be the next person when that person never existed? So that is all I think I have. Oh, I'm just going to close that out. That is all I think I have for today, y'all. It was enjoyable talking to you. Thank you for keeping me company. I hope to have some more content coming out. I have a lot of things I'm reading and working on. It's just I do too much at once and don't get anything done. Such is life. I hope that y'all are hanging in there. I know that it can be tough. Sometimes we're hiding in plain sight, which is not cool. I feel bad for my friends who are hiding in plain sight. I'm sending lots of love your way. I want you to stay strong and keep up the good fight. Love you, mean it. Y'all have a good day. Hope to see you at the other show later on. You be good. Oh, I'm gonna play my outro, which is just my Bible story thing. So I hope it's not too loud and doesn't hurt your ears. Anyhow, thanks for coming, y'all. Love ya. Have a good day.
Come explore with me my book of Bible stories. Time to put down your toys. Come